I fucked up the timing of my dinner, and so I will need to decorate and retrieve a baked potato soon.
Like, wait, sorry. Are you gonna eat a baked potato during our campaign 1 wrap up?
I might,
My man.
because I'm
Hang on,
certainly not gonna let it
sorry.
go cold.
Gary, are you gonna eat a loaded baked potato?
Hey.
Are you gonna guzzle sour cream while we do our campaign 1 recap?
Absolutely
be so
not,
lucky.
because sour cream is yucky.
What?
What is
Yeah.
wrong with you?
When you hear the call to adventure into the fantasy fold, you never know what's around the next corner. Just grab your dice and roll. And if you have a problem to solve, call your best friends and heavenly door. You got Garrett with the stealthy hands. Test can smell what's around the bend. Mel will kill at the drop of a dime. Arnold will find a friend every time. We're not murder hobos, but you'll be killed and looted. We might be the bad guys, or maybe just deluded, because we're critically stupid. Critically stupid. Critically stupid. Critically stupid. Best friends.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your soon-to-be world-famous Dungeons & Dragons roleplay comedy podcast, Critically Stupid. I am Alexander James. I'm your neighborhood best friend and dungeon master. My favorite part of last episode was when Gareth reached into his pocket and pulled out a trinket from 38 episodes before that moment. It was genuinely amazing, and I loved it so much. Anthony, why don't you go next?
My name is Anthony. I play Arnold the Bard, and my favorite part of last episode was realizing that for 38 solid episodes, Alex the DM should have been making Garion roll so many other types of dice. Because like with all of the stuff and shenanigans we were getting up to, he had like loaded grenades in his pocket the whole time. And we're just like,
The whole time.
now we're good. We're jumping out windows. We're fighting monsters. Not once did it ever come up.
We're in a burning building.
Yeah.
We're literally no, but that I mean that's hard to top. That and the fact like when I was like, oh wait, I have a blind spell for this creature that's made of eyeballs, and Alex was like, oh, but okay, fine,
Cool.
real great. Dianna.
Hi, my name is Diana. I play Mel. I also have the wolf pup Joshua Patrick, Josh Pat, JPZ. My favorite part of last episode was I actually really liked the Tim arc in the end. I mean, got to be a real boy. Thought that was real cute, real sweet. Big fan of that. Sean.
Hi, my name's Sean, and I am the moderator of this evening's events as we discuss campaign 1 of Critically Stupid. I've also been known to play Sean the Gorilla. We'll talk about it later. I'm sure it'll be a big topic of conversation. My favorite part of the finale that hasn't already been mentioned was just how on the fly you guys got to like tie up loose ends right at the end of the episode, and it seemed very natural and fully improvised, and a really awesome way to end it for each individual character.
Heck yeah.
And Garion.
Hi, I'm the mom from Calvin and Hobbes. I play Gareth. My favorite part of last episode was, and this was a little bit ago, I don't know if my memory is doing me right. I'm pretty sure I fully died
You did fully die.
I did think
Absolutely.
I do think I all the way died.
Mhm.
And I
Correct.
think because it wasn't even like a dramatic like fight to the death. I think I was just like fighting something else. I like threw the grenades, and then Tim basically just like fucking jumped me and left me crawling dead in a ditch, and then resolved his entire arc. Like, I'm a real boy. And meanwhile,
I did also love Gareth's interpretation of like being on the river Styx, just like just like sitting there on the boat.
yeah.
Before we go,
Fucking Karen is just like, give me a coin to pass, and I'm like, no.
Before we go too further.
Oh, I also have Constance. I'm sorry, I have Constance the kitten.
Oh God, thank you.
Whatever you imagine the cutest kind of cat to be, that is exactly what Constance looks like.
I would like to
You were
know what
supposed to.
cat looks like today.
Yeah, what hat is Constance wearing tonight?
Well, you know what? I was very recently dead. So he has one of those like. It's what an eccentric rich lady would wear to a funeral.
Like
It's
with
like
the
a
veil?
wide brimmed black hat with like the veil.
Adorable.
It is.
Before we,
It is real
before we
cute up
go
there.
too much further, because I will forget. Producer Sean, please let the delightful audience know where you're from and what you got going on. Tell us about Don't Make It Weird. What are you guys up to these days?
Sure. I produce a show called Don't Make It Weird. It's the writing and storytelling comedy podcast for the writing community by the writing community. I am joined by my co-hosts Daniel and Dina, who were lucky alongside me to be invited to feature on this show a couple of times, which we had a great blast doing that. Our show has not had a new episode in a few weeks, but I am currently editing a holiday extravaganza that actually includes an appearance from your DM, Alexander James, and that will be coming out soon. So watch out for that.
You guys, that episode, please do keep an eye out because it's fucking bonkers. Dina arranged for like special guests, but she arranged for a lot of them and all ones that like never shut the fuck up. So we just all hopped on the call and immediately started stepping on each other's toes from the jump.
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, so the conceit of this episode is fairly simple. We have finished our campaign 1. We started a story and a podcast at the same time, which some will call bold and a striking artistic vision, which I would happen to agree with. But I'm sorry, Gary. Yep. Would you like to
Nothing more bold and striking than a couple of white dudes and also Diana starting a podcast.
Yeah, well, it was a bold artistic vision, and we finished it recently, so I thought we'd bring everybody here. But luckily, we were missing somebody. One of the founding members of our podcast, one of the
Elon Musk.
original people who helped us build the show. I'm going to stall here while their internet connects, but I thought it was only fitting to have somebody who started it end it with us.
I'm on the edge
And
of my
it's just
seat.
the mess, everybody.
Hey!
Yay!
It's good to see you.
Hi, I've missed you.
Okay. Just
It's nothing
really
like
quick,
Harold.
We just did introductions, so if you could please tell the audience who you are and who you played and what your favorite part of last episode was, either real or fake.
Hi, I'm Jess. I played Tess, the druid. She's somewhere. She's in a better place.
Is she
Damn.
in a farm
Maybe she
upstate?
died off screen. We don't know. My favorite part of last episode is when Gareth begged Alex, the DM, for mercy. Please. And he was like on the verge of tears, and he was like, please, Alex, can you please just be nice to me for like 3 seconds? And Alex was like, fuck no. That was great. It was
I
heartwarming.
know
I
you
remember
think
this
you
very
made
well.
that up.
Yeah,
but
you
he
said that like it
actually
was a joke.
died last
But like I did
episode,
fully
so-
die last episode.
Did
so
you
that
really?
kinda- yeah,
Yeah.
Gareth fucking kicked the bucket. So I
Oh,
kind of
that's
had
too
to be
bad.
like,
Let's start the sort of like wrap up with addressing that moment. because somebody asked me anonymously in my inbox. They didn't want it to like be addressed on the show, but like, hey, sorry, guy. They were like, hey, did you mean to kill Gareth in the last episode for sort of like dramatic flair? I have never remembered how many hit points you guys have, so I just rolled dice over here, and then sometimes Anthony and Garion die because of it.
I can tell you
100%
for a
expect
fact that Alex did not mean it because I looked at his face when he was like, okay, yeah, you take 22 points of damage. And I'm like, cool, I have 19 health. And I saw Alex go,
You know?
I don't know if I managed to avoid death because I don't track my hit points or
Not at once.
because Alex was like low-key coddling me the entire campaign.
I kept track. Diana died 6 times during our campaign. It was great.
Thank you. Okay, let's put some order in this junk. Sean, thank you so much for being here. Honored to have you represent Don't Make It Weird. We are going to alternate between some questions that our lovely community have asked us, and then we'll switch into asking each other questions. I asked everybody to bring 1 or 2 to the table, and you can also make them up and sort of interject as we go. But Sean's going to try and keep us tangent-free tonight, which I realize is a
challenge.
bold, striking, artistic direction.
I'm so sorry, Sean. At least you don't have to edit this one.
Wait,
I don't have to edit it, yeah.
Garion, do you Garion, or do you have to? What's going on, Garion?
I gotta go grab my potato. I'll be right back.
Wait, I'm sorry, Garion. Could you explain to the audience why you have to go grab a potato?
No.
Okay, Garion, do you have your baked potato?
Your
I do.
sour creamless baked potato.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
what's
on?
on it?
Silence, right?
Travesty.
Just fucking start the episode.
What's on? No, shut the
No,
fuck
what's
up
on your
and tell me what's
potato?
on your baked potato.
You just raw dogging it?
It's just a raw potato.
It's not even good. Not even good.
It's not even good.
The oven wasn't on the
I
whole
lied,
time, you
it
guys.
It was just in an off oven for an hour.
This potato's
Why isn't
high
it
enough.
done?
All right, producer Sean, give us one off the list.
All right. So Alex, the DM, asked our audience to give some audience questions for you guys. So let's grab one and have at it. Let's see. From Sarah on the Critically Stupid Discord, which you can join. I assume there'll be a link down below, Alex.
Yes.
Definitely.
For the group, we'll answer one at a time. So we'll start with Garion. What was your favorite thing about the class you played?
I think I'm really just like a coward at heart. So the ability to hide from conflict rather than actually participating in it really appealed to me. But I feel I really tried to avoid combat whenever necessary because I knew that I was a weak, tiny, frail little boy. And so I feel like
Way.
say again?
It's the rogue way.
Yeah, it really is. They should make oh no, never mind. I'm a fucking idiot.
Make a podcast about it.
No, I was gonna say they should make a movie about it, but then I realized that it's called Rogue One.
Yeah, that's true. Diana, what was your favorite part about the class you played?
So with respect to the fact that I don't know anything about the other classes basically because I've never played before, I actually ended up really loving the class, and I think Alex, you ended up choosing it for me because I was like, oh, so but it was a good choice. I really enjoyed. I did not intend to play her as murdery as she ended up being.
It happens to the
But
best of us.
I was gonna say, once I got started, it was real nice
self-insert
being
belly flop,
super
just-
accurate with the long range weapon. I mean, I had to do combat since nobody else could.
That's not true. Anthony could do like shatter. It was just me. You could just say it was me.
Anthony was always nearly dead already before I'd even gotten involved, or he cast shatter and it fails.
Anthony,
It
what
did
level
most.
is Shatter? Shatter's a second level spell. Is that right?
Yeah, I think
So it
I have
took
it
a-
as 2 and I have it as 2 and 3. So
Okay,
that's
so it took you a while to get.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony, tell us about your favorite part of being the bard of the party.
Okay. Well, I kind of like that bards have like this inherent expectation of being kind of like charismatic and like sexual in a way, and Arnold is just not that in the least. I really like playing against that type. But that was probably my favorite part of it. I really like the fact that he's so interested in the stories and songs and such that he naively throws his body into danger at all times and never fights because he wants friends.
Never fights.
Sorry, Alex.
Even when it could be so easy to slide right into combat. Like
Even
the
his worst enemy.
circumstances of the world folded themselves around you to get into a fight, and you were just
to
like,
force me. And I mean, I did kind of enjoy like the few times where I was like, okay, it would make sense for my character to do something and fight in this moment. And I was like, oh, this is probably not even a combat situation. Like, I'm gonna punch this guy in the face, and I probably shouldn't, but here we go. But yeah, that was fun.
Awesome, thank you. And Jess, how did you like playing the druid?
Cow.
Fact.
I mean,
God,
is there anything more to say than that? I don't think so.
No.
No, that's it. Well, if you just assume I know anything else about the class other than cow.
I remember making Jess's character and Diana's character, and for both the process is fairly straightforward. It's like, what do you want to be able to accomplish in the game? And both of them, God love them, said, I don't know. Which was just so helpful. But then from that juncture, we went two very separate ways. Where Diana was like, I want to be like a little bit like able to intimidate people, and Jess said, can I be a cow? So we backed into druid from cow.
Amazing. That's amazing.
You really worked backwards with that one.
Yeah.
That's
Now
just
that
a
I think
testament.
about it, though, I think we also went with Ranger because I really wanted a dog.
Mhm.
And you said it would make sense for the Ranger to have a
The
dog.
animal handling, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Excellent.
actually have a question for Jess that's applicable right now. If I could jump in. What was it like jumping into our show sort of in the middle? Because the way that you came onto our show was like you were a guest for one episode, and then the very next episode, I think we introduced you as a full-time cast member. So like, what was that like?
I can't swim, so I don't know if this is an accurate feeling. But if I were to be dropped in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, like right next, a little adjacent to Trash Island, no, the side of Texas, it felt like that. I had no idea what was going on. I was confused.
Wait. Are we Trash Island?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Are we the
Pretty sure
ocean
we're not.
threatening to drown you?
So what I'm
Um,
hearing is that you had a really good time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool,
I loved
cool.
it. Yeah. Trash Island's amazing.
And
No,
then
you guys
people
are
on
Trash
it,
Island.
so
You're like
nice.
you are you're like the iceberg that like saved me from drowning, but you're also the reason that I was in the water.
Fair.
It was so confusing because I've never played D&D before. Alex did like a phone call with me to like prep and gave me a whole bunch of information. I took a lot of notes and I didn't read them before going on the show. I also just it was very strange not knowing at all how D&D worked, and then just figuring it out on the spot, and then unfortunately not making any sense most of the time.
Just to piggyback off of that, Jess, learning to play in real time while playing on the show, what was that like? And Diana, I'd ask the same question to you too.
Very confusing, very fun. It's a very like trial by fire, which I like. I think I relied a lot on just like really stupid improv to get through it. And then Alex, I felt so stupid. And then afterwards, Alex like, hey, you want to go on full time? Which I did not expect.
Yeah,
But
fun fact about D&D, relying on stupid improv is in fact how you play.
That's the
Yeah.
whole shtick.
that worked out for me really well. Yeah, I had so much fun, and I was really nervous because I was like, well, I don't know everyone like super duper well. Through Twitter, I didn't know Garion at all. He was just some dude. But yeah, I think the most important part to me was that like I got along with everyone really well. Which, I mean, verdict's still out. but I had a great time learning.
Damn.
It was me. She hates me.
True.
Diana, how was it for you learning?
It was a little intimidating at first, actually, because I really had no idea what the fuck I was doing or was supposed to do. And I think I thought there would be more rules. Like I was trying to grasp this concept that you mean I can go do anything?
Yeah.
And
Still don't get
that's
it.
kind of odd. Oh, and I have since heard that it's quite common for new players to do the self-insert with this sort of thing. And I did not intend when I started out for Mel to be as much a self-insert as she became, but it did become very natural. And I think part of that was because I'd not done any role playing before. But I thought it was fun to learn as we go. Granted, I held everybody up trying to find a D8 multiple times. But if we ignore that, it was
Those
actually
rules
quite
became iconic, though, right? Like that's
I
right.
mean, yeah.
the two pyramids butt to butt became a
But
whole thing, and I love it so
that's
much.
what I'm
Like,
saying. That's gonna be
I've
my
said that
next
to strangers in
tattoo.
public now.
So that we've got to have merch for that, right? Two
I
pyramids.
am in the
butt to butt.
process of designing. It's two pyramids, but with ass cheeks on the bottom, and they're just
Oh my
like,
god.
I really like to imagine the ass cheeks are like really detailed.
there's like freckles on them.
Yeah, moles. One of them like clearly hasn't been washed.
I do want to.
One has like a
Oh.
spank and
Yeah, one's got like a hand.
Yeah, like a
mark.
red hand mark.
I
And
do
a
want to
question,
commend
too. Go ahead.
both Diana and Jess for jumping in. I mean, like Jess because you jumped in literally in the middle, and Diana for
Right,
even
right.
agreeing to do this from the jump. But like you guys did agree to put yourself in a really like kind of a vulnerable position, not only from a group dynamic of like because being funny with other people isn't the easiest thing right from Jump Street, and also like while learning a new game and system and vibe and aesthetic and producing it for content, like I'm outrageously proud of both of you and happy that you agreed to this because like seeing I've been going through this week and like watching old episodes to build like videos for our brief hiatus, which we'll talk about later, but seeing you guys episode 1 versus your last episode with us is just like the difference you guys have and brought to the table is, I mean, incredible.
Just to piggyback off of that, because that was going to be one of my questions later about your journey as the DM with varying experiences from different players. But as a first-time showrunner and podcast host yourself, Alex, through Waterdeep Dragon Heist, like share your evolution from the first episode to where you are now, like from your experience as the showrunner.
That's a big question. I had the idea for the show based on like groups I've been part of before where like the jokes got kind of out of hand and the story was interesting, but I was also intrigued by this idea of like collaborative storytelling because like we all a piece of us all write something, and I thought it'd be interesting to have a group of writers coming together to tell a story to like as a group, as a unit. That was how I started the show, and then I sort of jumped headfirst into the world of like producing a show for people to watch, which wasn't something I had ever done before. And there were a lot of day one lessons that I did not anticipate that we had to get through. But above all of them was I had to learn how to let everybody else tell their piece of the story. There were parts even in the middle of our 54 episode campaign where I was like going back, I'm like, man, I really had like a tight hand on the story because I was in the DM position and I could control it and take away everybody else's agency. And so I tried really, really hard towards the end of the campaign to fully let go and let everybody else tell a piece of the story. And that's why parts of the ending ended the way they did, was because I didn't have 100% agency over what was going on. And that I'm honestly happy about that. Like, could I have written the story differently if I had done it A to Z? Sure. Could Anthony have written it differently if he did it A to Z? Absolutely. Diana the same, Jess the same, Garion the same. So the thing that I'm happiest about was that we all learned that lesson together and learned how to be funny at the same time, which was something that took multiple episodes to figure out because it's not.
I was already funny. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was immediately hilarious.
I'm still learning.
I've always been funny,
And
except
maybe
for the
it's just
scene
you,
where
Alex. Maybe
and
you
I-
suck.
That's what it was. I had to learn how to be funny in a group.
Everyone's funny but Alex.
I had a question for everyone. Alex told me I would also be asking questions, FYI. By the way, he didn't mention that to you guys at all whatsoever, but that's fine.
Yeah, he told me that I had to have like a question for the group and questions for everybody individually.
Yes,
And
I also
notably did not tell me you were coming. So
Yeah.
I'm racking my fucking brain.
Just
trying to
ask me
come up
about
with something.
cows. It's
Take
fine.
another bite of baked potato. Maybe that'll help.
I'm done eating already because I
You're
don't
wrong,
waste no
dude.
time.
Slammed that whole baked potato. Are you okay?
It's
I-
a silent snack, man.
I'm just waiting for an opportunity to throw the skin away, man.
I eat the
Wait.
skin.
Skin is
You
the
gotta eat the
healthiest
skin.
part.
Garion,
I eat the skin.
I don't need the skin. I'm sorry.
I eat the
you made
skin.
me so sad tonight.
You sound like my parents.
That's where the fiber is.
That's why they call me Daddy Podcast, buddy.
The Podfather.
Podfather.
So, Jess, your question for the
I
group.
do have
Yeah,
a question.
please.
Where is it? It was something that Diana said that reminded me that I had a question. Oh, what was a self-insert to your character where you were not expecting to self-insert that part of you?
Ooh.
That's a really good question.
So just reflect on that for a while.
I believe there was a vibrating something in a recent episode. Was that your answer,
How
Garion?
dare you?
I'll go first for me being just about every NPC. Playing Dustin Ego and Evan Stokesworth, the two shopkeep boys. I found that every time they came on screen, they wanted to be annoyingly, persistently helpful. And I realized, I think like the third time they did it, that I was like, oh, that's just me trying to like help these guys out. Like I was just like in NPC form, like, oh, please, won't you let me give you this quest? Please just listen to me. Please listen to this goldfish that's going to be relevant. I swear to fucking God, eventually.
I think something that snuck into Gareth without me really noticing was fuck, hold on, I'm stalling because I forgot what I was gonna say. Dude. God damn it.
He's
I
got
hate
that
it.
post-potato fog.
Yeah,
happening.
really. I got the brain fog after eating a baked potato, man.
You got to eat the skin. That's where all the
He's
nutrients are.
slowly falling into a food coma as we
Like
watch.
It's like the opposite of post nut clarity. Post potato density, man. It's rough.
It's like pre-nut.
Pre-nut obfuscation.
Hey, Anthony, do you have an
That's
answer for
subtitle.
Jess's question?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Anybody else, please.
Okay. Mine. Okay. I feel like I knew Arnold wanted to be friends with everyone, and wanted to be liked and wanted to connect with people in a way. And I didn't see how far I was like he'd be willing to be like, no, you're gonna be a good person. This is gonna be good. There's no way. Like he doesn't want to believe that any of his friends are actually bad people. And I can kind of relate to that a little bit, where I'm just like, oh God, no, this person's bad. And you kind of like push that a little, like, oh, I hope this person is still a good person. There's no way they would do that thing, right? And yeah, so I didn't expect that, because I was gonna just play it as like purely naive and keep going. But Arnold at some point had to take that turn where he was like, okay, I have to be a big boy about this and recognize that this person isn't a good person, that, and I have to actually respond in a realistic adult sort of way, even though my character is naive and ridiculous. So I had to let some of that, realistic, responses just, drip into that character a little bit. And I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to just kind of, everyone's my best friend. It doesn't matter, and it's fine. But as people behaved a certain way, I couldn't tolerate it anymore. And it's just, I didn't expect to do that.
I thought that was a really good character development on your end, Anthony. It was subtle, but then it just kind of snuck its way in over the episodes. I thought it was very well done.
Thank you.
How we doing, Garion? You got it?
Yeah,
didn't
but it was already like half baked, and I'm trying to like work it out so it's like a cohesive answer rather than me just like rambling and talking about bullshit, hoping it makes sense. So why doesn't Diana go next?
I like that. I like that it's still not baked. Much like
2 hours in the oven and it's
Yeah.
still not baked.
25 minutes from now, I'll come back to you. The
Thank you.
oven alarm will go off. Diana,
My answer will be like rambling and bullshit. So
What?
we can't escape it. Wow. What did I do to you to deserve this treatment right now? Anyway, honestly, the whole thing, the whole character was a little bit of a surprise self-insert. When Bestie and I made the character sheet, she was actually going to be somebody who like hadn't seen much of the world and was a little on the more like innocent, naive side. And like day one that we actually played, we ended up in some situation where Diana just came in. It just happened. I just like knee-jerk responded, and from there it was kind of hard to separate the two, to the point where I remember this vividly. Garion made a comment where he's like, what if Mel doesn't do drugs? And everyone laughed. Like, that's just how intertwined me and the character were at the end, except I don't murder people in real life.
Important detail.
Garion, anything? Or I have an answer too. If you
Yeah,
don't.
no, honestly, I think that the bit of self-insert that came into Gareth was the fact that I really just was like hanging out with Floon, because Floon is the type of person that I hang out with in real life. Like Floon is basically most of my friends. Except for that part where he's trying to kill his brother or whatever.
naturally. Jess, what was your answer to that question?
Well, I was gonna be honest that this is a little bit plagiarism, but the entire time I was trying to channel Phoebe Buffet. That was who I was motivated by, just batshit crazy, like happy-go-lucky, but then suddenly scary and weird. But a lot of it was, like me trying to lean on like weird improv because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. But I think a big part of why, for me, Tess started being quite spontaneous and very impulsive was that's me to a T. But I think a lot of it also is that like Tess wants to be impulsive because if other people can't predict you, then they can't have expectations for you, so you can't let them down. So I was like, afterwards, I was like, interesting part of me that made it in. If no one has expectations for me, I can't be a disappointment. So
that's one of those like that's one of those self-inserts where you really like in the moment you're like unpleasantly surprised by a facet of your own personality reflected in that character.
Yeah,
you're like ah, cool.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
I was a little unpleasantly surprised by how my trauma worked its way into the campaign and the character. And like, I joke about it. Everyone knows I got it, but I don't share details. And yet still somehow Bestie managed to get like around, like in the same ballpark as the details. I'm like, first of all, are you a witch? Secondly, the fuck? Why do you hate me? I saw your face. I went back to watch the last one where I read that stupid blood makes hostages line. Your face.
Yeah, it was rough because in the first draft, because I wrote each of those bits for you guys. The last 3 episodes of the campaign, we had like a brief thing at the beginning that I wrote, prologue, thank you, that I wrote for each of you. And I wrote them intentionally because I was trying to make them like facets of your character. So like Anthony's was about friendship and being alone, and Gareth's was about memory and being forgotten. And yours, Diana, I'm so sorry, was about family because your character is a big fat self-insert. And so like I couldn't dance around it, but there was one line that I wrote in there where after I wrote it, I was like, I'm going to take that out. That's too strong. And then I forgot. And then I just sent it to your first draft and you read it and I was like, oh no.
Man.
I was like, blood doesn't make family, blood makes hostages.
Oh, yep. And as I read it, your face just like slow motion. Yeah.
Oh God.
I forgot. And that's on me.
And he had the audacity to not kill your character at all once this entire campaign.
Yeah, she begged for
I
it.
mean, exactly. That's the real reason why Melton. It has nothing to do with the fact that I never tracked my hit points, and everything to do with Bestie knew I would like it too much.
Honestly,
Dude,
it was from a very selfish place of like, if you died, like I could really very much see you just being in a spot where you're having a bad night, the Bills lost, and your character dies, and you're like, all right, well,
That's it for me.
I mean, you're not
Speaking of
wrong.
which, should be a good
I
night.
would come back, but you're not wrong.
Bills clinched a playoff spot, so we're
We
in good
did
shape
clinch
tonight,
the
you guys.
playoff spots, but it would be nice to win the division, of course. Although I'm a little torn. Everyone says home field advantage, but the weather is getting shitty, so it's like, is it really home field advantage? I don't know. It might be better to have Josh playing the good weather. I'm sorry, this is nothing.
Sean,
to do
how
with
about another
anything.
question?
Yeah.
Real quick,
okay.
something I wanted to interject. I kind of felt bad because it felt like for the latter half of the campaign, it felt like Alex was like just trying so hard to give Gareth an arc. And the whole time, I was like, nah, he's already there. Like, I mean,
He's fine. He's fine.
what you see is what you get,
Just
really.
cruising.
Like, there was 3 times when I interacted with Tim, and he was just like, "You betrayed me, Gareth," and every time Gareth's just like, "Ugh."
Sucks to suck.
Yikes.
All right. Since I got you, Garion, Catman Jones from the Critically Stupid Discord server would like to know if he brings his own cup to Troll Skull, does he still have to pay for water?
You know what? I say this every goddamn time. Water is free with purchase.
Okay, so but what if he doesn't?
What if
buy
you're
the-
purchasing water?
If you're going in and only getting water, unfortunately, it says on the sign that the water is 1 copper piece, not the cup.
It says
So,
that
I
on the
mean-
Troll Skull sign.
No, the sign says water. You fucking
Yeah, it
moron.
says specifically in subtext, it says specifically.
Yeah,
water.
really
Not the cup.
small text parentheses, not the cup.
We should do like a
Because,
subscription
like,
service, like
if
a
you go to a
monthly cup where people can get free refills, but they have to pay for the cup every month.
Yeah.
You know, like
Did you guys get your Troll Skull cup? That's how you
That's
get
right.
water.
Skull cup.
Smart.
No, we they're in the shape of a skull, and we call them troll skulls.
That's merch. We need it.
Yeah, dude.
Amazing. Alex,
You're welcome.
Yes.
everybody.
what's the latest on the follow through for the shrimp French toast?
Okay, so
There was talks about this.
Mhm, mhm.
we canonically promised to as a show make shrimp French toast for our 50th episode. However,
Did we?
we did.
I did not promise that.
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
think-
all of us did.
It's
I
the
feel like
royal
you're
we.
making
Couldn't
that up.
have because I can't eat shrimp.
I'm also allergic to shrimp.
I
Yay.
also think
You've
they're
done-
It's
yucky.
also a self
Done
insert.
this
I'll eat all of
before.
the shrimp French
I-
toast.
yeah,
Oddly convenient, guys. Oddly convenient.
Here's the thing. I think shrimp is yucky. I have neutral feelings on toast, and I dislike the French.
I was gonna say I'll French the toast, but I will not shrimp the French.
I maintain
I'll
since
shrimp
the,
the fuck out of the French.
since since
What does that
those
mean?
words came out of my mouth because I said shrimp French toast on the fly because I was trying to do a bunch of stuff at the moment. I maintain that it would be tasty. I think you would have to do something southern with it. It would have to be like a smoky cayenne paprika butter with like a Creole shrimp and then like a pain perdu sort
Okay,
of French
chef.
toast.
Dude, if you pull out a plate of
Yes, chef.
shrimp French
Chef
toast right
man.
now, I will shit my fucking pants on camera.
Man, I have never in my life wished that I had a gag pre-prepared more.
Incredible. So Anthony is going to eat shrimp French toast since everyone
Yeah.
else is apparently out. So when is that happening?
Well, Anthony promised that we'd eat it at episode 50, so Anthony gets to decide when we'll actually do it. So
You're late.
Are we? How many episodes have we done?
we are because I had that weird season 1, season 2 split in our first campaign that I have since gone through and gotten rid of. So we ended at episode 54, so we should have done it like Thanksgiving-ish, but we didn't.
New Year's resolution: shrimp French toast.
All right, New Year's 2024. Everybody on this show, allergy or not, will consume shrimp French toast. If you need to have a medic nearby with an EpiPen, fine.
I can eat shrimp chips. I'll crush it up.
There
For
you go.
New Year's 24?
There you go.
2024.
2025.
You mean 5?
No, it is New Year's 2024, which is the next New Year's, unless I've got this fucked up.
You mean New
You
Year's
got- you got it.
Eve 2024?
Okay, New Year's Eve 2024,
Okay.
going into 2025 with shrimp
Thank
French
you.
toast on
I have
So-
plans.
Stupid.
You
I have
guys have
plans
like a
that day.
year to start building
Yeah.
up your shrimp,
Yeah, take
Tolerance.
a tiny piece of
Tolerance,
shrimp
yeah.
now to build
Yeah.
up the tolerance.
Oh my god. Can I just
Just
inject
every
it?
morning shrimp ramen.
I'm gonna
All right,
inject
shout out to Randall on the Discord server for that question. We're
That's
gonna
true.
hold him to it, Randall. New Year's Eve, shrimp French toast day.
I have a question for Garion. When you were striking the balance between joking and storytelling, when you were bothering to find the balance, what did you use as a focus point? Like, what did you use to sort of like find a spot on that spectrum to hit?
I didn't really like deliberately look for a focus point to try and like balance out the storytelling, because I'm gonna be so honest, it wasn't like storytelling for me, but it felt like, all right, listen, this is gonna be something for all the gamers in our audience here. But if you're ever playing a single player role playing game like Skyrim or something where you're pursuing an objective and talking to characters, you're always trying to find something out or do something, as we were in this campaign. And I would always have my own questions that I would want to ask these characters, but I'm only given the dialogue options the developers pre-prepared for me. But in
Wow.
D&D, the stupid questions that I want to ask these NPCs, I just can't ask. So it isn't finding a balance for storytelling. It's just dropping the filter and losing any barrier between what I really want to know.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
I have a question for the group, if you don't mind me hogging more screen time.
No,
Go
please.
for it.
Everybody's character here, Sean, yours being Sean, and Alex, yours being, I don't know, just like whatever you think would best fit the question. What if they were a person in real life? What occupation do you think they would have? If they were non-fantasy.
I feel like Volo Gedarm would be the smoothest, most efficient con artist in the world because of his
Ooh.
accent and the way that he talks.
You
So
stole
I'm
my
gonna say
answer,
I'm
so
gonna
I-
say vacuum salesman for Volo
a
Gedarm.
vacuum salesman. Nice.
Yep.
Anthony, what do you think?
I feel like Arnold, without the like magical elements and like magical charisma points, he'd probably just work in like a Barnes and Noble or something. He'd be like a barista, like a barista. That's pretty much what I imagine he would be. Or somewhere where he could match people. Maybe he'd be on maybe he would be like a dating show host. Maybe one of those like
Yeah,
bringing people
yeah.
together, like making friends for life.
Arnold is the guy who's like, and behind curtain number 2.
Exactly.
I was thinking like Guitar Center. instead of
That would
Barnes
work
and
too, for
Noble.
sure.
Guitars are really good. Bessie, what about you? What are you
Dianna.
thinking?
I don't know what I'm thinking. Because part of me thinks that she would still want to be kind of away from everybody and be like one of those wilderness survival people. But then the other part of me thinks she would just be like a veterinarian.
Animals.
Okay.
So like Bear Grylls, but you help wounded animals in the wild.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
sell
Bear
encyclopedias on the
Bear
side.
Grylls.
Yeah.
I imagine Mel,
Great.
she's like roaming around the forest and she witnesses like a bear attack a deer and she just like nurses the deer back to health.
She runs in there, slaps the bear. No.
Yeah.
Is she the one nursing the bear? Like, is she nursing it?
Ew.
That's what I pictured, and that really freaked me out.
Gross.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I
Why
love
would
you,
she
Jess.
be nursing a
Well,
bear?
Hey,
I don't think
speaking of that brain, Jess, what would Tess do in the real life? Because like, what the fuck?
You would either have like a really weird, obscure job that like no one would think is a real job.
Would she be a cow or a human?
This
That's
is the question. This is the question.
You would
I would
okay
like an
as
answer for both, please.
Yeah.
as a cow, she would just be a cow. But I think she would be a free range cow.
That's
You
fair.
just
Like, how many cow jobs do you know? There's option 1, a cow. Option 2, McDonald's number 7.
still a cow. Well, I was
So-
thinking like a rodeo thing, but I think that's too violent for her, and she would be against that unless it
sad.
meant she crushed a bunch of dudes.
Also, isn't that typically a bull? Very
dare you.
misogynist
How dare
business
you.
for cows.
How dare you?
The glass ceiling for fucking
Alex.
for rodeos.
I'm gonna write a short story about a dairy cow that wants to be in a rodeo.
Yeah.
Dude, all of the bulls like, get out of here! You're not what. This is a man's world. This is a bull.
I'm a cow in
world.
a china shop.
Like, go back to the barn.
Cows belong in the barn, not in the rodeo.
I'd read the fuck out of that.
All right. What about as a fae? What job would Tess have?
As a fae, I guess human, a real world person. Well, she has the whole smelling thing, so I kind of wonder if she'd just be like a florist or like a candle maker lady. Actually, locally, well, I think there's a lot of these, but there's like these candles that are in like dick shapes and like very, like very detailed penises, and then also very well done, very detailed vulvas. Like there's the whole thing. And there's a whole line of
to do with
at a
anything
place-
that you were talking about.
near the thing.
He's saying
I
that
think that's what
Tess
she
would
would
make
do.
genital candles.
You would make genital candles and they would
Yeah.
sell for millions, and people would come and like touch them and
They
sniff
would
them in my
come?
store.
Phrasing.
Shut up. Don't come on candles without buying them first. You can do whatever you want. You take them home.
After you get a receipt, you can jizz all over that
After,
candle legally.
yeah, but
It's
I will
yours.
not. There will be like a warning label that's like, do not use when lit.
There's a
Unless you're
sign
into it.
outside. There's a sign outside Tessa's candle store that says, "Please don't jizz on the candles pre-purchase."
People try to return them, and she's like, no, absolutely not.
You
That's
you
just
lit
him.
the wick at the tip of the penis and the wax that's melting.
No, it is.
fucking-
No, I've seen them. They literally do that. They like.
God, I hate
Like
it.
strip the foreskin.
They're
like,
amazing.
Jesus.
Hey Sean,
Great.
how about a community question, big dog? Get
Yeah,
the fuck outta
community
here.
Hold on.
question.
I didn't get. I would like to also say Gareth's
Oh,
job.
please, sorry.
Also, Sean didn't get to answer.
That's
Oh, you
true.
want
I
me to
was-
answer?
I was
Yes,
very-
please. You have a character in our show. If you forget,
Sean, yeah, actually, Sean, what do you
I
think
do.
producer Sean would do in real life?
keep in
I
mind
think-
you would still be a gorilla.
So he'd just be a normal gorilla?
No,
Can he
you
talk?
would. You'd be a sentient talking gorilla.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think he would be like an activist for like wildlife and be the bridge between people and the animals.
He helps me unionize. The
yeah.
other
Yeah, I hate to disagree with the question that I know you have complete freedom to ask, but I think you would get captured and studied as a talking gorilla.
I don't think so. I think he'd be like that ape in George of the Jungle that doesn't get captured at all during that film and lives very happily in the jungle. The whole movie.
He absolutely got capped. Have you seen that? Don't fucking
you shut your fucking mouth.
Shush it.
don't fuck with me in George of the Jungle starring Brendan Fraser,
Shush it.
bro.
I believe you mean
Brendan
Hayden
Fraser.
I believe you mean
Um,
Hayden Christensen, the real hero of that movie.
Hayden Christensen is not in that movie.
Isn't he? Oh
Are you-
shit! No, what's the other guy? It's not. No,
Are we
Hayden
talking
Christensen's
about
the guy that
Revenge of the
played-
Sith?
Yeah, that's Hayden Christensen, but the Thomas Hayden Church.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There's the
He's
connection.
he's the real hero of that movie. He's the real good guy. George of the Jungle is a sweaty fiance stealing douchebag.
Hot take.
Dude, I
and
watched
Sean
that
is all of those things.
I watched that movie recently and I didn't realize because I love that movie as a kid, but I hadn't seen it in years. I didn't realize how much of an impact that movie had on my sense of humor.
Oh yeah,
It's
Wow.
insane.
It makes a lot of sense.
I love it.
All right,
So
Gareth, tell us about
what would
Gareth.
Gareth do? Yeah.
So I think that Gareth, the first answer that I came up with was like, who's the guy from Catch Me If You Can? Like a Frank Abagnale-esque con man. But I think that's like too smart and like too much like cool guy for Gareth. I think he would be like an art appraiser. Just like a
That's
fake
stolen the side or just
no, just like a fake money laundering ass job. Like billionaires will be like, "Hey Gareth, how much is this painting worth?" And Gareth will be like, $1 million. And then the billionaire would be like, "Oh, I'll donate it for $1 million off my taxes." And then like discreetly slide Gareth like
I'd like to amend
100K
my
on the
answer.
table.
Arnold would just be painting in the like basement somewhere, and just, just like that's-
All right.
I would sign up for this shitty fantasy version of White Collar.
Let's see. David on Twitter at the Avery Baby on Twitter wants to ask Dianna, after listening to all that crunching, what is your favorite snack?
Oh, I mean, I think I probably do chips and dip the most often, at least.
More specific, please.
Dip.
What do you
Which
mean
kind?
more
What
What kind of
chip
dip
and
and
what
what kind
dip?
of dip?
Yeah, Jess just yelled dip.
Dip.
It's
Yeah,
the
like-
French onion.
Beautiful.
It is a hell of a good French
Oh, those
onion
are
dip.
so good.
They're so good. And then the Lavy Ways, the
Levy
Levy
waves.
waves.
Levy waves.
wavy.
I love those.
No, Levy waves all day.
I love those Levy waves,
Levy
y'all.
waves.
I
That's what they're
am.
called in Waterdeep.
Yes.
That's
I'm
what
really
Some
Nice.
people call never mind. Never.
Like as
Never
it came out of my
mind.
mouth, I knew it was wrong, but my brain could not figure
Mhm.
out where I went wrong in that moment.
Lay's onion flavored onion flavored.
Anyway, I'm gonna go with that's probably my favorite.
Excellent. Good choice. Was there a moment for you, since I'm already talking to you, during the duration of the campaign where you had like an aha or like an I get it kind of situation since you
Yeah,
were new
like
to the
the
game?
end of it.
Oh, the end of it.
Just
So like
took me
right
the whole fucking
just in
campaign.
time. Yeah.
Just in
Was there
time
a
for
s-
the ending of it.
Was there a
Like-
specific what was the specific thing that made you have that moment?
I think when I finally put I put two and two together with the Beholder children.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know. To me that was when I started to get it a little bit more, and I like to think that it just steadily got better for the few remaining episodes there were, because again, it did take me the whole campaign, but I got there, and that's the important part. And hopefully I'll hold on to that for the next one, and we're not starting over. But yeah, I think that would be the moment that I finally kind of better understood. I had a general understanding, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Light bulb moment.
It's a great moment. And speaking of the finale, Garion, regarding Gareth's use of the fireball necklace in the finale, I can't not bring this up. I know we talked about it in the intro a little bit, but was this a premeditated strategy for Gareth, or was it a spur of the moment thing that you just, you remembered you had it? And
Dude,
how did
so little of what I do at any given moment is premeditated. I think I've planned for so little in my life. But I saw this big monstrosity in front of me, and I weighed my options, and I was like, what am I gonna do? Attack it with my daggers? No, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm asking specifically, like, did that moment remind you that you had that implement for 30 episodes, or
Yeah,
did you
that's
have
the-
that in your back cargo jean pocket,
I see.
road pocket, like waiting for the moment to use it?
Because I know you as
Interestingly-
a player, and there's no fucking way you would have knowingly sat on that necklace and deliberately not used it until that moment. Because to your point, you guys went through a bunch of bullshit before that finale, so there's no way that you would have been like, no, this moment's not important enough, I'm going to save this, because you're an impulsive person.
I think I feel first of all, I hate to go back into gamer territory again, but you have to remember that I'm a fucking loser who doesn't have very many friends in real life. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I do. They're real, but they just go to a different school. You wouldn't know them.
Thank God.
She lives in
Uh,
Canada.
Yeah, Jess might know them.
Yeah, it's Jess. It's Jess. She lives in Canada. You don't know her.
yeah. But in terms of like things in D&D, like in video games, I tend to like hoard them, like in case I might need it later. I did completely forget about the like grenade things until that moment. But if you could refresh my memory a little bit, Alex, the thing that I had thrown the grenades at, it was Floon who like turned into a big like plant monster or something.
It was.
There were tentacles.
Floon turned into a massive, Leviathan from the deep, kind of on land thing. It was Eldritch was the
Right.
vibe I was going for, sort of a Cthulian-esque monster.
So yeah, okay. It reminded me of, you know, various like Dark Souls, Elden Ring, or even like a Skyrim DLC boss fight where I'm like, what? I feel like fire would be the most useful thing against an eldritch tentacle slimy being. And I was trying to think of like ways to light it on fire. And then it was just like sort of a eureka moment where I was like, I bet that in somewhere in Gareth's fucking cargo cloak, he still has the necklace of grenades that we just didn't bother putting
Okay.
away.
Can I interject here? Just like from a show running storytelling fan of real play podcast moment, you backed ass first into the perfect final episode moment where like you had a thing canonically guaranteed to you that you saved for the perfect moment, which was the boss fight in the last, like you
Yeah,
did
it was
every,
the sunglasses.
no,
and
you
the...
did every piece of
good.
it right for the wrong reasons, and that angers me so deeply.
Well, a question for you. Well, what do you think the right reasons to use the grenade necklace would have
The
been?
right, no. The reasons you did it for was right. It was the last episode. It was the big boss. Like you did all that right, but it was the way you thought about it, which was you just waited until you remembered. Where like in my experience, it's like, oh, you know, I went back over countless episodes and listened, and like I remembered I had this, or I had it written down, but like 7 asterisks next to it with like
Do
saved for
not
this
use
thing.
unless
But
climactic.
the idea that you genuinely just like had a eureka moment in the moment is the most improv thing I can imagine.
good.
I'm so impressed by it, honestly. And that does, it's hand in hand, fill me with rage.
I was going to
I-
ask you how angry that made you, Alex, when
It-
that happened.
He killed
When
him
it-
immediately.
No,
Yeah,
when it
dude, I
happened,
died literally the next turn.
He killed him. He's like, how dare you?
It wasn't even
Murder.
like the next like rotation.
No.
I threw the grenade, then it was Tim's turn, and he just killed me.
Actually, you revealed the grenade, and Tim killed you. Arnold threw it on his next turn.
I didn't even.
Yeah, speaking of which, hold on, I was going to get to Arnold because
No, please.
this was really surprising for me as an audience member of the show. We talked a little bit about like the nuanced blend of like childlike innocence and fierce loyalty that Arnold feels, and like his development from someone who's just naive to someone who like understands there's bad people in the world and fighting with that internally. But in
Right.
that moment, Arnold saw the grenades and saw his dead friend and walked me through like
Okay, I'm
what
gonna
you
tell
were
you.
thinking there.
Yeah. That was like normally, if you know, historically on the show, I just have gone purely based on what Arnold would do. You know, and I was like, I don't want to play above table at all. I don't want to be like, oh, this is what I would do. It's a smart thing. Like, even if I'm like, oh, I know the answer here, but there's no freaking way Arnold would know. You know, I try not to play it. This is like the only exception in the whole freaking campaign where I was like, I can't do the thing that I know Arnold would do in this moment. Because what Arnold would actually have done in that moment, I think, would have been to
breakdown.
No, I think he would have jumped onto Garion and kind of threw them behind him as he's just like doing this to his friend. But I was so terrified of making that dumb roll that I would kill Dianna as I throw the necklace behind
That would have
him.
been so fucking funny.
I know.
Arnold is
I
so
know.
distraught. He's like, no, Gareth, get these things out of here. No.
and I can't tell you, like, so like if you see me like in that moment, I was thinking a few things. I was like, okay, it's kind of not fair that Gareth doesn't get this moment to throw this necklace since he's the one who had it in his pocket and thought of it. And I was like, but I also don't want to just haphazardly throw it behind me and waste it because that feels unfair to him as well. And that's kind of that's where I was. Where I was like, I don't want to waste this freaking thing, and like then we're just gonna have to use his dagger over and over in hopes of getting some mercy from the DM.
I really went, aha!
It was so bad. It was perfect. It was funny. But yeah, so it was like, so from Arnold's perspective, it was a situation where it was like his friend was down, everything was just awful, and he didn't know what else to do. So he threw the big bomb at the big bad, that he saw. So the one that was, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. I
was gonna say it was the one that was like the least friendly to him in the moment because like he still like loved him in a way, So
I have a few like core images from the campaign that we all did together of like scenes that we all did that remain like burned into my mind's eye. One of them is 32 grave robbers fighting over 31 graves. That one is frozen in my brain. One of them is Tess failing her stealth roll and throwing herself over that ship in the dock ward to like hit a dude and like cave his brain in. But one of them is the image of Arnold standing over Gareth, like hurling this necklace at this like huge, horrible Cthulhian monster. Just like in one last like final defiance of "you're not really my friend." I honestly thought it was amazing.
Yeah, that was
incredible.
That was such a great end. I'm so excited.
I really hate to toot my own horn, but my favorite moment in the entire like show so far has got to be that shit-eating grin on my face when I looked at Alex in the eyes metaphorically after that shitty little gnome did his flashbang, and I said, Gareth is wearing sunglasses.
I was so above table angry at you.
This is why people need to watch the show, because there's so many times where you can just see Alex's face drop.
Good.
So
and
yeah, in fact, audio listeners love you to death. Grow up, get with it.
I think like, okay, so above table, this show was supposed to end on episode 53. Just like the way the time ran, it was supposed to end one episode earlier, except Gareth was wearing Gareth having sunglasses on postponed us a whole ass episode.
What if we could reveal it? Oh fuck! Oh god! Sorry. If we could reveal it now, what was supposed to have happened if I was wearing some ordinary regular glasses, like some kind of fucking loser?
I'm not gonna say what was supposed to happen, because again, I've been really trying to be intentional with like whatever was supposed to happen was what we did together. That's what was supposed to happen. The way that I saw it rough draft in my head was...
What did you envision?
The way that I envisioned it was the gnome was working undercover for the Xanathar Guild. He cast color spray and escaped and ran down to the vault where Floon was waiting, trying to get in, and perished somehow. And then Floon was waiting for you guys in the vault. That was the moment. I had been thinking of that moment for 25 plus episodes where I was like, Floon is waiting for the character in the vault. That's the cliffhanger on the penultimate episode, is Floon saying, "What's up, guys?" And then Gareth had on sunglasses and I had to do a bunch of other shit.
God, I can imagine Floon fucking opening the door to the vault. He's like, oh, dude, they're going to be so fucking surprised when they open the door. He opens the door. They're already, what the,
Okay, actually, I had this question, and it's not a favorite moment, because I think that question inherently has a lot of pressure. But like, what's a highlight moment that you remember fondly from the campaign? What's like a top 3 moment that you remember? Because
the whale
for me,
episode.
Oh my god, the whale episode.
Let's talk about the whale. Go ahead,
The whale
Anthony.
episode is so freaking funny. Like the whole episode was cracking me up. Like everything about it was perfect.
And the best part is that the whale is okay.
No, stop.
It's totally
no,
fine.
No, this is the
It's
wrap-up
fine.
episode.
It's
We
fine.
don't have to be funny here. That whale is
Whale.
not fine.
It's
It's
fine.
He is. He
Actually,
went to Fantasy
established.
Juilliard.
He
He's
did.
an
He
actor.
is. Yeah, he
He
plays the
was doing
piano.
a gig in the haunted house. He's fine.
He got a full ride.
That
Awesome.
episode has so many good jokes. For example, in like minute 4, Tess was like, "Oh yeah, HR wants to talk to you. Horse resources."
Wait, hold on. Wasn't that my joke?
No, I think
I-
that was Tess. Actually, I think you said HR wants to talk to you, and Tess said horse. Oh no, wait. Tess said HR wants to talk to you, and Gareth did say
You
horse
said horse
resources.
I'm very proprietary of my jokes. I hate to say.
I remember. Sorry,
Oh.
Tess, please.
Well, you guys are just fucking talking, and I'm just like, I am on the ground, being dragged,
It was so
and you would care about me.
Dude, that was one of my favorite. I love doing like Foley work and making it sound. That was one of my favorites of Tess beneath the.
You guys are just doing other shit, and I'm like, hello.
Oh, it was so much fun. And, like, I kept trying to figure out how to stop this stupid horse. And I was like, I kept failing. And I was like, okay, I can't do anything but laugh in this episode. I have nothing. I
God.
have nothing. And I was stuck doing a stupid voice. And I was like, okay, here we are.
I remember because that was our guest episode with Clara, and I had poised everything. So I was like, I had talked to her before, as I talked to every guest before they come on. I'm like, okay, here's what's happening. Here's how we're gonna introduce you. Like, it should be like 5 to 10 minutes, and then you guys just kept doing other shit because she was waiting in the carriage, and Garion was like, I'm gonna crawl underneath it and scope that out. And Arnold was like, I'm gonna get on top of it. And Diana was like, I'm gonna ignore the carriage altogether. And I was like, oh my God. She waited like 60 minutes to play the game with us.
I like that you went
And
to
it was
invent
all worth
magic
it.
for her. I was like, okay, now you're riding on this giant beast, and here we are.
I was, oh God. I brought her on. We've only ever had one guest with 2 episodes, and it was Clara. And it was because I felt bad for her about how dog shit her first episode was.
Oh my God.
I will say that personally, one of my favorite of the YouTube shorts in particular, was the one where Alex explains how Sylvia escaped the scene of a crime really quickly, and I just look at the camera and go,
That was great.
You're gonna have to watch YouTube for that one, kids. Diana,
"Yeah, audio listeners love you to death. Fucking get with the times already."
Grow up.
Jesus.
I have to pee. Can I run to the bathroom real quick?
Yeah, can we do a pee break actually?
Yeah.
Let's do a pee break, and we'll come back to Diana answer.
never mind, Diana.
Sean, you got Sean, you gotta walk away. She can't monologue if you're watching.
Oh, okay.
Hello, everybody. It's everyone's favorite time of the video, the sponsored Libris Arcana advertisement. Everybody knows how amazing Libris Arcana dice are. Everybody also knows how amazing Klondike bars are. We're not sponsored by them. However, I have a question for the 3 of y'all. What would you do for a Libris Arcana dice set?
Anthony, you go first.
Now that I know how beautiful and incredible they are, because I got this amazing
Yeah.
Salamander Sand set, I would do just about anything, including playing a lot more Mario Party. Because if you look at this D6 looks like the sweet, sweet meat treat that you have to flip in the Mario Party game, and I love it so much. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it
That
looks
set
like
does look a lot like steak.
it looks like steak. It looks like that raw meat that you just like flip, and I love
Like
it. So much.
Wagyu.
Yeah, I would do just about anything. I would murder my best friends. I would make best
Watch
friends.
out,
I'll be friends
Steven.
with people, just about anybody. And for a second dice set, I'll do just about anything to those friends. But yeah, I'll do just about anything for them. Diana, what would you do for some sweet Libris Arcana?
For sweet Libris Arcana dice, I will go back in time and not be friends with Anthony so he doesn't murder me. And also do everything I possibly can to stop him from using the phrase meat treat ever again. Just if
That's a
that could
good call.
ever
Delectable
come out
meat
of your
treat.
mouth again, I would appreciate that.
The meatiest of treats.
What? Oh shit. I will also kill Garion when I go back in time. And you guys can help me with this goal by getting me all the Libris Arcana dice sets. Bestie, were you going to answer this question?
Well, I was actually gonna jump on and say I would, yeah. I mean, like I would send somebody a picture of my feet for a set of Libris Arcana dice. That sort of seems like to be the standard answer.
You can quote him on it.
If you guys,
One died per toe. That's what
I mean, obviously, yeah, for sure.
Alex has 7 toes.
I have a lot of toes. It's Gary. I'm gonna have to cut that out later. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Diana, where can our audience go to get their hands on a set of Libris Arcana dice to help you on your goal to travel back in time?
Oh, so I don't get to answer the question, huh?
You introed the bit. What
Fuck
would you
you
do,
guys.
Garion? What would you do for Libris Arcana dice?
I would go
set?
to LibrisArcana.com, and at checkout, I would use code STUPID20. What else can they get at LibrisArcana.com? Diana, please share.
You can get, in addition to super sweet resin dice, you can get metal dice for that satisfying clunk. You can also get leather. Thank you, Gary, for that excellent Foley work that the mic will surely pick up. You can also get leather covers for your D&D books. You can get a dice subscription. That's right. You don't even have to think about it. It's just you get surprised with Dice Day, and a beautiful new set comes right to your door. If you decide you need to skip Dice Day that month for whatever reason in this economy, I get it. Just go online and cancel it. That's it. Easy peasy. You do not have to talk to a real person, which that's, let's face it, one of the biggest draws for me. So yeah, code stupid20 on LibrisArcana.com.
Libris Arcana, dice for life.
Save it.
No way, I gotta keep that super weird pause that you put in there, right? What's going on, everybody? We are back. We have peed. We are refreshed, and we are going to go straight to Diana for a highlight moment of hers from campaign 1. Diana, bestie.
I think my highlight moment was us arguing over how much gold Mel can carry when she is swimming, and it was a highlight because I don't know, I just kept bringing it up at other random points in the campaign, and it just delighted and seemed like the frustration on your face. It was there too. It's so good, bestie. It's so
it was funny,
good.
and I say this without exaggeration, every single time.
It just got funnier every
It's
time.
so
It did.
good.
It did.
Normally, comedy comes in threes, but in this case, comedy comes every single time.
Oh my gosh, it was so
Same.
Wait, that reminds me of my favorite moment, which was actually when Alex was trying to do a fancy little intro, and it was a dark and stormy night, and there was a donkey pulling
my
a
God.
wheelbarrow.
Holy shit.
He just
So-
wanted we just go.
So many times I have done. It's actually
it all the
why I
time.
started writing down the cold open, was because a couple times I was like, I'll just vibe it, and then it just like as first draft ideas do, like it just didn't work. And so we had one where it just like wasn't funny or wasn't good, so I scrapped it, and then I started again, and then Jess was just like, so wait, where's the donkey? And I was like, you fucking you chained me to a sinking idea and made me keep talking about it.
You're like, what's the murder weapon? I was like, the handle of a wheelbarrow.
And the rib of a donkey.
That was scary. It was so good.
Oh, also a highlight. I can't believe none of us said this for a highlight, but the bulge incident.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
God,
that
it's
was
so-
that was the first moment where I was like, it was an arc that we had all built, and there was this beautiful like romance story from like beyond the grave, and it was like culminating in this beautiful moment where two souls met across the fucking veil of death, and I made the mistake of saying bulge, and you four roasted me like I was a
Yes,
witch
and,
at
baby.
Salem.
Oh, listen, that was an amazing moment, and we could probably do an hour and a half on our highlight moments, but we have more
Could.
questions to ask.
go.
So
We gotta go.
True, damn it.
Jess, I have a question for you. I didn't have anything prepared, obviously, because Alex sprung this
Yeah,
surprise on all of
surprise
us.
guest.
But I've always remembered the moment where your character was introduced and Alex's face changed when he realized what Tess's full name was. And I want to know if that was intentional, like bamboozle, and how much joy you felt when it clicked for him.
I think about it all the time, and it gives me so much dopamine. It's like it gets me through the worst days. It makes me so happy. A small part of me was kind of hoping that no one would catch it.
Yeah.
And then it would just get caught after, and Alex would be like, wait, what the fuck? Like during editing. But it went exactly how I pictured it. So
I
was
think
very-
if my memory serves me right, Alex realized it as he was introducing her character.
Yes.
Because
no, it was
Okay.
towards the end.
It was towards the end because like I introduced because all she put on her character sheet that we built together was Tess.
That's right.
okay.
Yeah,
So
Tess. And
the
then
whole-
I
whole
dropped
episode
that.
was Tess.
Yeah.
And then
It's like a
the
Miss
end-
Tickles.
The end
Yeah.
was like she was kidnapping Cerulean through this portal because she was on for 2 episodes, and then she was like DJ Miss Tickles, and I stopped the show to be like, hold up.
What's the
Did-
full name, Alex? We haven't said it yet.
Yeah, so Tess's name is Tess Tickles, and you can go back.
Balls.
It's episode.
You could watch the moment Alex
Oh,
realizes.
Dude, it's
it's
so
my
good.
favorite.
It's so good.
It's,
It was great.
Went exactly
really-
how I
it's
pictured it.
really
I'm so happy.
incredible. You guys had a lot of moments like that though, where you surprised me with something, and they're my favorite moments on the show. Like we just talked
Oh,
about
yeah.
favorite moments, but the moments that you guys surprised me with something were my favorites because that's improv.
Every time Diana remembered she had magic.
Yeah, but you remember she could talk to animals?
Yeah, well, no, Diana had like a surprisingly fantastic memory.
Oh
toward
wait,
the
okay,
end,
hang on.
right?
This is my question. I've got it written down.
Oh,
Diana, my question for you. How did you split your memory between every single time we talk about our favorite bits of last episode, you have fucking crickets in your brain space. But then in the middle of an episode when all of us are doing other shit, you will remember that Troll Skull is haunted, what haunts it, and the name of the entity haunting it.
Love it.
I do a lot of drugs. No,
That's a trauma-based memory is what that is.
I think it means like I hear it obviously and it's stored somewhere in there. So I feel like it's like an accessing problem and I like to
It just takes a while to get processed.
right, exactly. Well, I mean it's a trauma thing. Yeah. So I like to wait until the most random moment to just like leave my little knowledge bomb, my little memory bomb and surprise everybody, but I have no idea. There's no rhyme or reason to what I remember. Just sometimes I remember things.
Incredible.
All right.
I had a question for Anthony. Unless actually, Sean, no, give us another public question if you don't.
Yeah,
mind.
let's get a question from the audience. This one's anonymous. The submitter's anonymous. And it's
Wow.
for the group. And it says, what's the Alex,
Don't try that again.
what's the nicest compliment you have for Alexander James?
Listen.
Aw.
This is no, don't fucking look at me with that look of pity in your eyes. I didn't come up with this question to make myself feel better.
Okay,
Somebody-
anonymous.
I
mean,
Was
anonymous.
anonymously
I'll go
submitted.
fuck myself.
I
that's
like that Alex can
adorable.
spell anonymous.
Not the first try.
Okay, anonymous. I like your vest.
Great cat. Well done.
Your cat's pretty cool.
Cat's pretty cool. Cat's pretty cool.
Let's go around. Diana?
Why that face? I haven't even said anything yet.
It's sort of the
It looks like you're
It's
about to hit him.
anticipation.
It looks like
It's
you're
anticipation.
about
You
to
know what
hit
it is?
him.
It's that feeling of like it's your birthday and everybody's gathered around and you know that to move on with the day, you have to wait for everybody to sing you happy birthday. And I would rather pop a cyanide pill, frankly.
You put the fucking
My
question on the list,
I
Alexander
did.
James.
I did because it was
You
an anonymous
submitted
question that
it!
had somebody asked the question and I
Yeah,
wanted to respect
somebody.
that. No,
Buddy. Okay.
Listen, question
Okay.
asker. I knew this was going to happen, and I do not appreciate you putting me through this because you knew it was going to happen too.
Diabolical. This is what they wanted.
Did you ask your wife to do this? Did she DM you on Twitter?
Holy shit. Oh my. Hey, babe. Can you submit a question for me on my podcast?
That's the whitest guy move I've ever heard.
Oh my god, dude.
Incredible.
All right, Bestie, tell
Diana?
me something nice. Do it fast.
Well,
Ramble.
that's not
Don't
gonna happen.
stop.
Well, I
Diana.
am gonna
Keep
ramble.
going.
Okay, he's still making a face, but I can say many nice things. I don't usually like to say them to his face, because that just ruins the fun of it. No, I guess I don't have a lot of experience / any experience otherwise, but as far as I can tell, you were a great DM. You were enormously patient with me on a serious note because I'd been going through it, and we joke about the dissociating, but it's a very real problem. And you were so incredibly patient with me every single step of the way, and helped me find the humor in it at the same time because like you knew that this was a real problem for me. And being new to D&D, I was of course nervous that this was going to become an issue, but you kind of huddled me through it, if you will. And we made it funny and we got through it, and I'm doing better now. So thank you for asking me on the show. I still don't know why you picked me of all the people showing interest, but you know, and thank you for teaching me how to play and being not only a great DM but a very supportive friend while I was going through some shit.
Anyone need a break to go grab a tissue?
I'm so desperate.
Oh, she did the
get
heart.
this over with.
Okay, here, I'll go next. Why do you look like that? No, I'm yeah, I do want you to know that while I was writing questions for everybody, I had 2 for the group and then 1 for everybody, but I had 2 for Alex because the first one was, why do you look like that? And then I wrote a second question because I'm like, all right, that's mean. That can't be the only one. But I will say that my compliment for you, Alex, is it is a genuine one. And it's that while we make fun of your character voices a lot, I think you do a legit good job of like characterizing and giving differences to the NPCs. And when I'm talking to, or when Gareth is talking to a character, I don't feel like I'm just talking to a different flavor of Alex. It does feel like I'm talking to Rainier, or I'm talking to Haligtree, or what have you.
Nice.
Also, I like your lights.
Thanks. They're new.
Oddly enough, Alex's favorite color is not purple,
It's not.
which
It's
I
green.
was notified. Everything is purple in your shot at all times. But you're
He
the only
does
one
it
that
for
doesn't like
me. He
purple.
knows my favorite color is purple, so he's matched his whole configuration.
There it is. There it is.
The thing
You don't
about, like,
have to stay with the purple.
I don't quite. I actually don't like the green background because it does make me look a little Scrooge McDuckian, like I'm hoarding some sort of like cash pile.
It
in this
really
room.
washes you out, actually.
I will say that
Look like a
purple,
white boy.
purple's probably the best. White's also actually really good.
White's quite bad. I don't like white.
I like white a lot, actually. I think
Yeah, well,
white's good for the shot because it's something interesting in the background without messing up the color too much.
I agree.
Anthony.
I think white's great.
Anthony, the gears are turning. What's happening?
I'm just laughing at these two talking about how great or bad white is. Just
White is so great.
I love white. White is supreme.
This is why
even.
you left the show.
Literally, I was texting with Jess today, and we were talking about her coming on, and she was like, "Yeah, I'll be there after I'm done with what I'm doing today. I'm going snowshoeing. Love it. We finally got our first big snow of the year, a big white dump." And I was like, "Hello."
A big white dump?
I said just
My
like
nickname
how
in
I
high
liked
school.
it, a big white dump.
Dude, that's going to be what I title my autobiography.
Oh my!
A big white dump? That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Go snowshoeing.
Yes.
My cocaine plug posting on his story when he just re-ups. Yo, big white dump. Hit my phone.
Let's make Alex feel uncomfortable again with one more compliment.
Oh my god, I have so many. Everything Diana said is true for me. I don't know what I'm doing, and Alex was so good at all the yes-anding, just the most random shit, such as a giant blue whale, or I don't even remember what other random shit I did. I tried to eat everything, and he's like, "Yeah, sure." Alex is also great, like behind the scenes with like me being anxious about everything ever, so just being so stressed about each episode. He's like, "You're fine, you're good, you're fine." Storytelling's immaculate. The way Alex can describe a scene with all of the big words, some of which
I
we
was
have to
just thinking,
stop
I've
and yell at him.
legitimately learned words from you.
I had to learn
Like, I had to
grundle.
go look them up.
I had to learn grundle.
So
But then
you
I
guys
start
can look up
using them
words and
'cause it
not
makes
get
me look
made fun
smart.
of,
They don't
right?
ask Siri in the
They
middle of
do
the
it- They
episode.
do it off camera where you're like, "Hey Siri, what is a grundle?"
Yeah, well, because I wanted to know and my curiosity needed to be satiated.
Yeah, Alex can really paint a scene very well. It's just the sort of writer bullshit you hate to see as a writer, and being like, "Well, that's really good. Hate that. Hate that. Hate him." No, Alex is great. He's a great DM. He's a great, I think, leader for the group, and he's really good at taking shit from the rest of us, the rest of everyone.
Are his cheeks
now-
red enough, you guys?
All right, now let's go around giving one thing that we don't like about
Oh my
Alex.
Let's go.
Please,
Oh,
please.
I
Roll
thought
it back. Roll it back.
I'm
Why do you
desperate.
look like that?
You guys remember that time I was working on an intro song for this freaking podcast?
Oh,
And
wait.
Alex just
Okay.
messaged me. I'm just kidding.
My question, actually,
Let's.
my question for Anthony was, "What is your favorite piece of music you've created for this show?"
Oh shit. That's a good one. Probably
for
Dave.
the listener that might not know, Anthony has created almost every single piece of music or transition music for this show since day one. Like, my man has been incredibly creative and so flexible with my sort of outrageous demands, because I on one hand profess to know nothing about music, and then on the other hand make him redo our soundtrack 16 times because it's
it
just
was
not right
so
yet.
funny. It was so funny. I was just like, I'm not used to this, but okay, I'm not gonna get fired from this show on this day. Here we go. I learned a lot about myself in that process. I was like, I'm willing to do a lot. I will tolerate a lot for zero money. Is the thing. I got paid nothing. And here I am, just like, yeah, no, I'm on board. Let's keep yelling at me.
Sounds like a normal day job.
No, honestly, I really like. I love the way that intro came together. It was a weird process in the beginning, but then it was like watching everyone like enjoy it and like how it came together was really a lot of fun.
Still a banger. Still a banger. Let's cut to it right now. Actually,
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the show. Here's our theme song.
I was like, no, I mean, like that song that made me so happy, and then like at the end having the opportunity to be like, here it is again. Like, here it is. Like, Arnold found that song. I was like,
Dude, Anthony, I want you to know
that was so great.
Sometimes I walk around like work, like the office, and I'll just be like, "Cause we're critically stupid."
Also, your moment in our last episode, and I told you this, I cut it from the episode because it wasn't relevant to the story we were telling, and it was already a long episode. But the moment where Arnold goes to the pawn shop to buy his loot, and I was like, "What's your victory song? What's your triumph song that you walk out singing?" And he sang the theme song. I was like, "You went first in the order because it was your idea to have this like closed loop at the end, which was fantastic." But I was like, I'm gonna cut you last because that was how campaign 1 ended, was you singing the theme song. It was perfect.
Dude, I was so glad. Like, after because I was hoping we would have the chance to do that, and I was so thankful for you that you were just like open to be like, yeah, let's all do that. This is freaking cool. I was like, yes,
It was rad.
And like, because like I didn't get a chance to say like how great you are with everyone else, but like you know, because like you are amazing, and I do love you. But like I really do like that you gave us the opportunity to do those kind of things where I was like, hey, I thought maybe this was gonna happen. And you were like, oh fuck yeah, that's a good idea. And I was like, oh, he said it. Like, I get dopamine now. Yes, you know,
yes,
like,
serotonin. Fuck, finally.
Yes, you know, I was like super excited. But then when you were, but like honestly, in that moment when that happened, I was like, getting to watch everyone else's, I was like, oh, this is so freaking good. Like, I'm so glad we did this right now. Like, and it felt really good. Like, I was like, this is a perfect ending to this freaking campaign. I love it.
Speaking of endings, really quick, I want to jump in because I know that Jess, you were with us for a short time, a short 15 episodes that, I'm going to be real, felt like 30 episodes because of your impact on the group and our show. Like we
Was it
legitimately
for real
just like
only 15
it
episodes?
was only 15.
That's crazy.
Can't believe
Jess,
it.
we talked about you almost every week since you left. Like you are incredible, and we missed you every week. And then the week after you left, we had Jenna on the show, and it was a fucking dog shit episode. And I'm gonna cut this part out, but it was bad. It was real rough. But I know that you and I worked on your ending for how you left the show. How did that go? Like, did it go the way you wanted it to, or was there a different way you wanted to see Tess sort of like leave the show?
I figured that was how it was going to be. Like, it was a kind of a full circle thing, right? Like that's how she kind of started, was that she jumped through this portal. Whatever. That's kind of what I pictured happening. I think it was important to me that we ended in a way where like Tess could come back, even though Garion really kindly suggested that you guys just fucking kill Tess.
But Will, I don't think. Hold on, let's run that back. Did I?
You're like, guys, you were like, yeah, Garion was like, guys, it's like, I love Tess, but like for dramatic purposes, what if we killed her?
What if we eat her? She's a
You
cow.
did
after all.
suggest that we turn her into a hamburger.
What if we just turn her into a hamburger? That would
Okay,
be great.
listen. That would have been really funny, and I do.
You guys are
stand
just crying until like your baby's born.
Yeah, it's
She's
like
always going to be a part of
McDonald's.
us for the next 24 hours. Just,
Sometimes longer if you don't get enough fiber.
God,
Eat your
damn it, we
potato
should
skin.
open a chain restaurant.
I'm still digesting her loss.
What, Jess? What happened when Tess got back to the Fey realm? Like, what state was her apartment in after you finally got your keys back and
All of her
went
plants were
back there? All the
All
plants
of
were dead.
all the plants were dead. They were so crispy. It was actually a fire hazard because you left the heat cranked, but all the plants are dead.
Bunch of kindling.
Yeah, lots. Yeah.
So
It was
what
it was
is-
a mess, just like her.
And what is Tess doing now?
Guess we'll have to find out at some point.
Yeah. We
Can't,
need
I can't make any promises right now in case like I decide that she dies.
Yeah, Jess and I need to
I-
keep that ambiguous for plot
Hamburger!
reasons. Don't fucking worry about it.
Yeah, and also don't tease us,
I-
Jess. How dare you?
I had a
I have
question
no
for
idea.
Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
My question for Alex is, there are a plethora of examples where things went completely off the walls, haywire from what you intended. Was there any sequence that went exactly as you had planned in your head?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Got to think hard about this one.
Yeah.
There's so few.
The episode that we had, it was before Jess came onto our show, but it was the episode where you guys went into the morgue to get answers from a corpse. It was the first sort of like flashback episode we had where there was like a riddling demon and each of you faced like a scene of the past. Now it didn't go exactly as I had planned it because it was the very, very first episode where I walked into it with zero preparation because I knew that I wanted to delve into each of your individual backstories, but I had no idea what you guys were going to bring to the table. So I had some questions and some prompts and some ideas, but that was of our 54 episodes, that's probably the most adrenaline filled I've ever felt after an episode because of like the energy and the storytelling that you guys brought just raw to and even like Dianna, that was episode like 12. Like you were still learning how to play the game, how to role play, how to be this character, but like even the role play that you were able to bring to that episode was just like so incredible. It didn't go how I thought it was going to, but it exceeded every expectation I could have had.
That was one of my favorite episodes, like early on for sure. And but I remember being like concerned that I was like, oh, I feel like Alex really wants Arnold to be a plagiarist at this point, but I don't think Arnold would do it. Like it's always like I have to push back, but I don't like it. But it's also what the character would do. It feels uncomfortable, but like it feels right.
But those are great moments where like the moments where you as a character and I as a DM find ourselves at opposite ends of the spectrum coming against each other are so fruitful for what your character's about. Because that moment was like, I was like, what if Arnold is a plagiarist? And you were like, what if he's fucking not?
Yeah.
How about
And
that?
then he got to learn like who his real friends were and who was saying bad things about him and how.
Yeah, like the DM.
Exactly. How dare you, DM? How dare you, God? God is against Arnold is the problem. Right?
Guys, I'm so sorry. I spent the last pee break making a drink. Give me just 2 minutes. I'm so sorry.
Gary, I'm so glad you asked that question. I believe we've got a community question that reflects that one very nicely, Sean. Do you have that one about fucking up storylines?
Oh yeah. So from Catman Jones, once again in our Discord server, was there ever a time where you felt, oh, we fucked this whole story? Let's go with Dianna.
I mean, part of me still feels that way. Truthfully, there was a portion of this where I was just lost, just very confused, and I don't know, I check out sometimes. Anyway, I'm so I had no, really, after everything nice I just fucking said about you. You're gonna be like,
Watch on YouTube.
Alex made a face.
Audio listeners love you to death. Jesus Christ, dude. Come on.
I wish I wasn't a silent laugher, simply for the audio program. But
That's funny.
Dude, I gotta Foley your laugh. Here, Alex, give me a silent laugh. Was that good?
Nailed it.
10 out of 10. No notes. Perfect.
Was that good? Did you like it?
I couldn't tell it wasn't him.
That's basically what I sound like. Dianna, go ahead.
So anyway, sometimes I just had no idea what direction we were supposed to go in. And there were times when I would feel like some friendly NPC was trying to get us back on track, but I knew I was off track. And I knew the NPC wanted me on track. And I also really wanted to be on track. But I couldn't put like 2 and 2 together as to how to get back on the track. And those were moments where I just felt bad because I'm like, I'm biffing this, and I don't mean to, but I don't know what to do.
I would love to see a supercut of us above table being like, Alex, what are we supposed to be doing in this moment? Because you know how many times
that was actually going to be like part of my answer, is because I have played like a lot of D&D growing up. Like my father DM'd a campaign for me and my childhood friends for like almost a decade. And so this was the first campaign where we could be like, listen, I'm going to keep it a buck with you, Alex. What is going on? Because if we tried that with my dad, he'd be like, figure it out, because that was part of the game. But because we were like doing this for content, we, as fun as that, like figure out what to do next part, that is fun in D&D, it's not fun to watch. So we did kind of have to be like, Alex, where are we going, dude?
I mean, I will interject and say those moments where, I mean, we had maybe 3 of them in 54 episodes where you guys were like, as a unit, because that's the only time I took it seriously, was when you as a whole group were like, all right, all of us are lost. Where do we go? And then
I think it's because we had multiple paths where we could have
I think
any of 3 things, and we're like, which one do you need us to take right now, man? And you're like, one of these 3, and we're like, and we kind of come up with it in the spy. It was really cool how you did that.
That was something that I think that was like kind of, I don't want to say a flaw. I mean, it is a flaw. I just don't want to say it because it's mean.
Cool.
But like a little bit, starting from a little bit before Jess joined the show.
PJ, got it.
It felt like you kept giving us too many threads and too many like paths to take. And I understand that you wanted like a variety of options about like, oh, we have like a choice of what to do, but you gave so many that we were like, okay, but we don't know what the main quest is anymore.
Can I address that? Because that's one thing that I noticed about myself that was the middle of the campaign was I had such a tight hand on the storylines that I was like, I was writing the story for you guys. And I was like, this is a red herring. This is a Chekhov's gun. This is the main quest. But I was the only person that was seeing where those threads went. So the fact that you guys tripped over them was like, obviously you were going to trip over them because I was the only one writing them. Like that was the moment where you guys in the middle of the campaign were like, we don't know where we're going or what we're doing or what any of these are actually, where I was like, oh, I need to stop telling the story by myself and let us as a group tell it and go where we need to go. That's why, like, if I had envisioned it from the jump, the finale would have been wildly different as to who was the ultimate bad guy and what they were doing there and how you found them and how you found out. Like, all of that would have been different, but I wouldn't trade the ending we came up with for the ending I could have written alone. Like, the ending we came up with as a group was far, far better and more satisfying than the ending I could have written in a room by myself, because that shit's boring and I've already written a book and it's not very good.
Oh, shut up.
I disagree.
I don't give a fuck what you think.
Ooh,
You know what? In that case, I do agree. It was shit, and you shouldn't buy it.
That's right. That's right. Do not
The
buy.
Woodkin by Alexander James. Go check it out.
Do
but-
not buy The Woodkin.
Available
by
where books are sold.
Alexander James.
Do not buy Play It Again by Anthony
Thank you.
LaFauci. and
Thank you.
Stevie Wildcott. It's a great comic.
Oh yeah, let's all just jerk each other off. All right, let's get on with this. Sorry.
don't make a weird podcast.
Where all the jerking off happens.
All right. One more. Let's do one more question from each of us, and then let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
This has been a fantastic campaign wrap up, but I'm excited to talk about what we're getting into next. So, producer Sean, start us off.
I have one more question for the group. I mean, I wanted to spend like 30 minutes on Sean the Gorilla, but we'll skip that. So like we talked about favorite moments or like top moments, but like what is one action or decision you made with your character that you feel should define their legacy in Waterdeep Dragon Heist in this campaign? What makes it so memorable or significant for your character? Anthony.
You've got to give us at least like a few minutes to think about this one, right?
I mean, I have
Huge.
mine.
Genuinely.
I will.
You guys remember when my character went and he talked to that roadie situation and did nothing? You guys remember when I did that episode where I was like, "Oh yeah, let me go talk to this guy, and it'll get I'll get some information that'll be like pertinent to this conversation, this like this campaign in general." And I talked to this guy, and I got nothing. I was just like, "Oh, I did nothing. I did nothing in this whole episode." That was it. I was like, "Oh yeah, Arnold's still gonna be friends with this nobody that I'm never gonna speak to again or ever hear from again." I'm so glad I did that. I was so glad. It felt so good, and I felt like I was just like, oof, I'm getting like all of these like reward chemicals in my brain. I was feeling really good that day for sure.
I will speak because I'm not. I have no character in Waterdeep, so it's easy
You
for
have
me.
every
You have
character.
every
Oh,
No, I
character in
understand, but like
Waterdeep.
of the cast that I have gathered here, I have no characters. So I will answer for Anthony and say that it is the moment where he stood over the fallen form of his best friend Gareth and hurled this fireball necklace at his former friend, an employee and person that he like had spent days with. In
Can I tell you
defiance
though,
of
guys, Arnold would have seen that guy and been like, "Oh, he's a villain now." Anthony, as me, the player guy, was like, I do not believe for 1 second that they are not the same person. Like, it
oh
took
my
me,
god, you were so
guys, I was so mad that they weren't the same person. I can't tell you how mad I was as a human person that they weren't the same character. I was like, no. I was like, Floon is like, I was like, these are the same guy. It's a Hulk situation. It's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation. They're the same person, but they don't know it, so they're redeemable. So I'm gonna be able to help one of them because one of them is still my friend, but one of them is not. Like internally, like
Dude,
consciously.
I was actually so mad that Floon mattered because in my heart of hearts, I wanted him to be a nothing character. Like, Alex was dropping so many hints and clues, and I was just like, "Fuck you, Floon, go to work."
Yes. Oh man, I wanted Rainier to be Floon so bad. Like I wanted them just to be the same guy, and then eventually would just be like, we'll marry these two characters in a character that can still be my friend, and it won't have to die, and it'll be fine. We don't have to fight this guy, and that didn't happen, and I was very wrong, and I was sad about it.
Okay, we
and
have
that's-
Amazing.
we have tangented. We need to come back
Jess.
to.
Jess, you said you had an answer.
Yeah, but then I got like 11 other answers while everyone kept talking, and I was stressed out. I'm gonna talk really fast. Listen fast, listeners. Okay, well, the iconic moment that I will be proud of until the end of time is when I Misty stepped a cow onto a person. And a listener told me that they had tried something similar in one of their campaigns. So for me,
Yes.
it was peak test because I had a very vague idea of what was going on, but I knew that that was what the thing was. So I wanted to do it. It was impulsive and stupid, and it ruined Garion's plan.
Dude,
I
I
was
was
really happy.
actually Jess, love you, Jess. I was actually for real, real life mad. Like I wasn't like, oh, Gareth is so mad at Tess. No, Garion was mad at Jess.
But it was so good.
It was.
So
It
funny.
was.
It was so funny. Oh my god.
I will pick
Hindsight-
comedic value over plot.
No, it was great. It was definitely great.
Oh.
For me, that was iconic Tess because it ruined everything. It didn't really serve a purpose. And then Alex punished Tess for an entire episode afterwards.
I did.
It was
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
You were
Oh,
trapped
yeah.
underwater the entire
That
time.
entire
Gosh,
episode. It was
so
bad.
funny.
I spent an entire episode drowning because gorillas can't swim, and Alex started the episode by hurling me and Daniel and Dina into the fucking marina.
If memory serves, producer Sean, you also deserve to be punished a little bit in that episode. Did you not?
Because I didn't stop Dina from killing your main NPC that was supposed
Yeah.
to drive the
Yeah.
narrative of the episode.
Uh-huh.
Oopsies.
That was me. That was me. All
I
right,
think-
Look,
Diana, do you have a moment that you find defines your character's legacy from this campaign?
That's such a heavy question. I think that there's two kind of answers because in the beginning, God, I think it was the first episode, my character kills somebody, and I went into this not right, whoops, death. I was not intending to be a murder hobo. I was specifically told not to be a murder hobo, and then there was this situation where I didn't know what else to do, and then the dice gods had me roll real high, and I killed Marvin. And that sort of set off, the first half of the campaign. That's
God, you remember his name?
known. I do, isn't that crazy?
Her first victim, of course.
Jesus
damn it.
Christ.
You always
Dude, I'm
remember your
back.
first.
hey everybody, my name's Diana. I play Mel. I don't remember anything that happened last week at all, except Marvin, the guy I killed in episode 1.
Except for Marvin, the man who first tasted the wrath known as the pointed tip of my arrow.
That's metal as fuck.
So is the pointed tip of your arrow.
True that. You're not wrong. So
That was such a stupid joke.
It was great.
So funny.
I'm not too mad at it. So that kind of started off this accidental murder hobo, and I was like, this is going to be what I'm known for. But then in the middle of the campaign, Mel switches. She decides to spare somebody who ultimately she shouldn't have and should have just fucking died. But she made the decision, and then even when I recall there was an episode trying to get information from Floon, and instead of getting angry, murdery, she tried another tactic, which was far more peaceful. Which I think culminated in that moment with Tim, where where her main priority was the kid and getting the kid taken care of. It's this big switch from just kill everything that stands in the way to keeping safe the people that you care about or who's right to defend. Not that I wasn't still a little shooty, but it never fully goes away.
Beautifully said.
Love that.
Garion, what do you think, bud?
I think that Gareth character defined mode of campaign 1, it was just almost the pinnacle example of Alex trying to give Gareth an arc. It was when Tim approached Gareth in the sewer and was just like, I can't believe you lied to me. Why would you do that? And Gareth lied more and then forever sealed that entrance and never spoke to Tim again. Every other encounter with Tim was like, I'm sorry, Gareth. And Gareth said nothing. Gareth hasn't said a word to Tim since just like complete, oh, it was an accident, man.
So, okay, can I just briefly, there has been expressed a small amount of surprise at, oh wow, it's really Tim is so angry in the final episode. Yeah, dog, he is. He's been gaslit for 32 episodes.
No, Gareth ghosted the shit out of Tim, bro. Tim has like triple pigeoned Gareth.
Yeah.
That's like triple texting, but there isn't phone, so it was messenger pigeons.
Triple pigeon. I got it.
Yeah, joke explained to everybody.
Can't read.
Yeah, that's why he's been ghosted. He keeps sending letters, and Gareth is like, "What the fuck is this, dude?"
There's a lot more numbers on this one than there were on the
He hands it to Arnold, like, "Hey, can you read this?" And Arnold immediately just starts bawling and can't like actually say what it is.
Okay.
Are we gonna do one more question apiece? Is that what you said, Alex?
Let's try this for a last question. What's going on, dear audience member? I've cut the last 4.5 minutes for reasons that you don't need to dive into.
Alex,
They
should
weren't
get
my
the
fault
phone.
this time.
I do have an answer for Gareth.
How do you think it was going to end? Before you understood, before you experienced it, or before you learned about it, how did you think it was going to end? I want to start with producer Sean, because he's been moderating this whole episode. He's been very, very patient with all of us. How did you think it was going to end before you learned about it?
I very early on thought that Flume was the hitch pin of the climax of the story. Maybe it's different because I'm an audience member and I wasn't in it. I wasn't too close to it, but I knew he was significant to the ending of the story in some way. Did I think he was going to be like in the vault reading? No. But I did know that you guys would make it to the vault at some point and that there would be a big bad that you had to fight. But definitely thought Flume was involved somehow.
Okay. Garion.
I thought that we were going to be chasing down, because you remember how you opened with like a big monologue about how like a gnome like had some sort of rock, which I believe was the Stone of Glory or whatever. I thought we were going to be chasing down that gnome the whole time, and there was going to be like a big climactic confrontation where like it's like a big chase scene, and he like enters a room that's like a dead end, and he's like facing wall. He's like, ugh! And he like turns around, and we're all like there silhouetted against the open window. We're like, end of the line, shitbag.
Cool. Love that. Okay. Jess.
I had absolutely no fucking idea. I didn't have any idea what was happening when I was on the show.
Yeah, she wasn't here at the beginning, so
or at the
it's like
end.
Yeah, she like.
I'm just the sweet part of the middle of the Oreo.
The best part of the show for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
Middle of the Oreo.
She was like fucking, god damn it, what's her name? Shit. Rashida Jones's character in The Office, who was
Ann
only
Perkins.
on the show.
Oh no, sorry, not Ann
in The
Perkins.
Office. It was like
Yeah.
Karen
Karen.
something.
Karen.
it was like her who was on the show for like a season and
Yeah.
had like a great impact, but was just like, okay,
I-
bye.
I'm happy to hear that I had a good impact. So I felt like I was just there. I was gonna say that
Low bar. I hate to say.
How dare you, Jess? That's
I was
insane.
just there.
Guys,
I don't
shut
think
up.
it contributed
Shut
to
up, Jess.
plot ever.
Yeah, you didn't get mad at me when I swore, so you did a great job.
Woof, hey,
Insane.
okay, Anthony.
Woohoo! Wait, no,
okay,
I haven't. Well, I have a comment, which is I
Okay,
feel
please.
very.
No, yes.
I feel a lot better about that really bad scene, Alex, where you and I tried to be really funny, but you were Floon and Tess and Floon were trying to have a conversation. It's not going anywhere. It wasn't funny. I wasn't warmed up yet. It was the first 10 minutes. It was terrible. I feel very vindicated because Tess was sus of Floon always the whole time.
You
Didn't trust
did not like Floon
I did not like
from
Floon.
Jump Street.
No, didn't trust that guy.
Was it legit
Oh,
only Gareth who was fully like, nah, it's just Flynn, it's just a goofy little bartender. What do you mean? It's just Flynn.
Anthony.
Yeah, the whole time I like as soon as you announced that Jess was coming on the show, it was like Jess is like the funniest person I've seen on Twitter, and I can't wait to freaking get to see her on the show. It's gonna be amazing. And it was amazing. But yeah, as far as the ending is concerned, I thought the entire time that Jess Rainier was Floon, and that there was that I thought they had like a split consciousness situation in which it was like a
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Mr.
yeah.
High. I was like, he's gonna go with a Mr. High. Like Floon is always acting like he's like, "What's up, man?" Like super high, bro. I'm like, that's Mr.
Dude,
High.
and to be fair,
I was like,
I don't think we have ever seen them in the same room together.
we didn't until literally the last episode. And I was like, I can't tell you as a player, as a person, I was just like, no. No one would believe that those two people are the same people unless they were the same people. That's not a thing that happens in the world. Like you understand. I've been catfished. Like people present themselves differently, but no one is just like that person is that person, right? So
The wild thing that you just dropped right now.
Yeah, I've been catfished. Let's talk about the end of our D&D campaign.
Yeah,
listen.
so just last weekend, I was going on a beautiful date, and who sat down in front of me? A 45-year-old man. And what? He robbed me at gunpoint. But anyway, Floon has to be Rainier.
So my date with the 45-year-old man was fantastic. I am not single any longer. And
I'm happily engaged to Frank.
happily engaged. No, but like the entire time I was like, don't worry, Anthony. These two people are the same person. You're gonna figure this out at the end because like no one would confuse these two people unless they were actually in fact the same person.
It's
And I was
almost
like,
it's
all right.
almost a bigger twist that they were separate people. And
Yeah, it really was.
genuinely was people just making a mistake across the town.
To me as a player, I was literally like, you can watch me be like, okay, so you're saying that they're definitely not the same person.
Wait,
And I
so
was
you're
just like,
saying-
They don't have
Let
to
it go.
watch it. You asked. You
I know.
stopped the finale, and you were like, "Wait, they're different."
You
I
mean
couldn't believe it. Okay, I still have trouble believing it because I was like, I really did. I like the whole show. Because that's what like early on. I was like, okay, Floon is Rainier. I get it. Like this is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun to like navigate this situation. And then like as it was going, I was like, oh, I'm wrong. Oh no, I can't be wrong. I can't be wrong. It's impossible. It's impossible that I'm wrong about this. And you're like, you're very wrong about this. And I was like,
No.
no.
Okay,
Nah.
Diana, how did you think it was going to end?
Oh, I have been with the show from the beginning to the end, and I had no fucking idea how it was going to end. I don't have the same excuses. It's just because I have fucking been here. And I was very confused for part of it. I genuinely, and I had so many questions at the end that I was just rapid fire because
In the beginning, in the middle.
Sort of all through.
I just called you nice in the Discord.
I love you.
Now you're gonna-
Yeah, and then you shot her 3 times in the chest.
know.
Anthony, jeez.
I don't understand what I've done to deserve this.
It's so
but-
uncalled for because Anthony's so
I know.
nice the whole time. We're all dicks We're all
I
so
know, that's the
It-
thing.
it
It's
comes
so
out of
Literally, that
nice.
was
left field
noted
every
in the
time.
Discord
fun.
today. In the Discord,
Love you
there was
so
a
much.
video, there was a compilation that Bestie put together of us being dicks to each other, and I'm like,
So good.
why is Anthony so much nicer than us? Haha. And it ended with me just saying, oh, I think Anthony's just a nice guy. And now you come for me,
I love you.
All
Go
right.
on.
and I'm not
So
gonna answer the
where
question anymore.
where is the Ghost Mafia headed next, Alex? Let's talk about that.
Thank you so much for asking. We
California.
so we are not ending the show. We spoke at the end of campaign 1 as a crew, as a cast, and decided that we wanted to keep telling a story. We are walking into one of the all-time greatest campaigns that has ever been written for Dungeons and Dragons, and that is the Curse of Strahd. It is a Tim Burton sort of Bram Stoker-esque gothic bloody nightmare that I think will be very funny, mostly because of these 3 fucking bing bongs. And I think we're gonna start dropping episodes probably like late January, early February, because we all have families and jobs, and we want to record a bank of episodes so that when inevitably we need to take like emergency breaks or sick time or whatever, we don't interrupt the flow of episodes dropping. But speaking of episodes dropping, in addition to dropping in late January, we are going to have new episode days. Historically, for campaign 1, we released Friday afternoons. We are going to start releasing episodes Thursday morning. We are going to drop episodes at 6 a.m., actually probably closer to 5 a.m. Thursday morning, so that everybody has all day Thursday and Friday, and then all of the weekend to watch that new episode, mostly so that I can get the episodes uploaded before I go to work. I'm a chef by trade, so I work very long days, and it became increasingly difficult towards the end of the campaign to find 20 to 30 minutes of uninterrupted time to release new episode days. So we're going to have a new episode day time Thursday early, so everybody has time to check out the new campaign that we are dropping. It's going to be inspired by Curse of Strahd, but it will not be from the book Curse of Strahd, just like what we played this campaign wasn't from the book Waterdeep Dragon Heist, although it was far more accurate than people on Twitter are accusing me of. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. Listen, some of those decisions were pre-written. It's written in the stars, as they say.
Are our characters going to be the same, or are we starting anew with new roles?
We are keeping the same characters.
Level 7.
Level 7.
Shut the fuck up.
Level
Love you
7.
so much. Level 6.
We're all level 7.
Anthony and I had a whole ass argument about this off camera. Level
See, there
6.
was actually, it's kind of like One Piece. There's actually a time skip. We're level 8.
Yeah, there's a time skip and Garion's dead.
Surely there was a huge XP dump after that big
Mel
bad.
and Arnold are both half elves, and they have a longer lifespan. So Gareth is an old, feeble man in a home.
So Gareth, Mel, and Arnold will all be characters in our new campaign. They will be the faces you love to see. I have to talk about Tess and her involvement with Jess off air. Hopefully we can get her, but I know that her schedule is very, very busy. So Jess's and Tess's involvement remains to be seen. However, I will say that
Not
there
a burger.
there is a new face that we will see for campaign 2, who I'm not willing to admit to right now. I want to keep that under the cuff for a couple of weeks, but there is a new face joining us for campaign 2 that I think everybody will be very, very excited about. I'm personally wicked excited about them. I think they're going to be an amazing addition.
That's right, Katy Perry.
Sounds
It's
very
Katy
exciting.
Perry, everybody. All right, so before we wrap it up, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. If you have not yet, please go to youtube.com/@don'tmakeitweirdpodcast. Is that the handle, Sean?
At DMIW Podcast.
At DMIW Podcast. It is a storytelling community for the writing community, by the writing community. I am friends with Dina and Daniel, and they are both hilarious co-hosts. If you aren't
Recommended.
subscribed to the channel, please do check out their episodes, both old and upcoming. You will see plenty of Just the Mess.
Jess's are the best episodes by far. Seconded
Jess-
by
I mean-
my episodes, thirded by probably someone else, and then fourth by Alex's episodes. for sure.
Jess's
And-
episodes are fantastic, and the episodes that they feature don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. We have issues are also very good.
Thank you.
In addition, please go buy Anthony and Stevie's comic. What's it called, Anthony? I have had many beers.
Deathless.
You can go ahead. Yes, Deathless. You can go on wehaveissuespodcast.com. You find Deathless and play it again in all of our books.
Hey
Okay.
everybody.
Oh, look at you, barreled. That's so cute.
Hey everybody.
Hi, Garion.
Thank you.
Okay.
Stay avunculus.
No, stop. Everybody, this has been our official campaign 1 wrap up. This is the end of Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and to take it out, Garion has prepared a few words solemnly
So sorry.
and from the heart. Garion, take us away.
I have been waiting this whole recording session for this opportunity, for this speech that I have prepared. I have long since written it down, memorized it, and had it forged in steel. This journey that we have embarked on over a year ago has had its ups and almost no downs, except for a handful of guest episodes. And like most of the beginning. And some of the middle and end.
And this right now.
But other than that, it was a journey that I would travel again and again, like a movie you rewatch over and over. Except this is like 54 2-hour movies that I don't think I want to watch back to back to back to back. But if you, the viewer, have just done that, then I thank you for joining this journey with this is the third time it's a journey. Yeah, stay avunculus, everybody. Get fucked. I hate this.